Good morning, everybody. We're here for another one of our live lockdown series. I'm just waiting for everyone to wake up and get up and come and join me. So I wish I had time to make myself a coffee, but apparently not. So I'm just busy looking here for some websites to show you as examples when we together. Let me try and think of some nice. Hello. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're dressed, brushed your teeth, and ready for today. We're going to be talking about websites, website design, a particular passion of mine, if you must know. So I'm just busy waiting for everyone to sign on, and while I'm doing that, I'm quickly getting a few things ready. So welcome. Let me know who you are and say hi. You can tell me what business line you're in, and if you want to be so brave. Hi Hester, Fleur de Lis Guest House, nice to see you again. If you want to be so brave, hi Ashley, you can actually give us your URL, your website address, and we can website and critique it. live and in front of everybody. Okay, so without any further ado, hi there, Rowan. Nice to see you. Rowan. Hi, Ryan. I think let's jump into it, shall we? Okay, so website design is a huge passion of mine, a massive passion. And the reason I'm so passionate about it is because I think it's the most important thing in your business. It's the first most important thing, because it's almost the first touch point that most customers have with your website, with your business, before they decide to engage with you. So they'll usually go and check out your website. So most companies have semi-decent websites by now. I do pretty old-fashioned looking websites, but that's usually businesses that just haven't yet into the 21st century, and they know that it's high on their radar that they need to improve their website. So usually the journey that people go is they might see your ad, they might see a piece of social media content, maybe somebody shared something, and even if they saw an ad, say Facebook, one of the first things that people do is they hop onto Google and they will type that in your service and they'll actually look you up. The more cynical, in your company name and the word bad reviews, or what can go wrong. Basically, what is the worst case scenario that I might experience when dealing with this company. So what happens then is if you've got Google search ads running, that will show above everything else, and then people will be like, Google search ads, that's amazing, let me have a look at what the ad is about. And a lot of people don't click on search ads. About 30% of people will click on a search ad. So you've got the search ads, then you've got the Google My Business. Now, Google My Business, we haven't had a pure search engine optimization chat just yet. Hi there, Paul. We haven't had a pure search engine optimization training. We can do that next coming week. Google My Business is super important for search engine optimization and to be on page one of Google. The next thing that comes up, and this isn't necessarily in the right order, is maybe some video. If you have a video that you have created on YouTube, that might show. And then maybe a snippet will show, or a preview will show. And then lastly, you've got these organic rankings. So these are basically just the rankings that turn up on Google that are that you haven't paid for, and they're completely free. Now, hopefully your website turns name. In other words, if I type in rogerandpatdelaharp.com, or if I type in Roger and Pat Delaharp, I imagine that your website will come up because it's a fairly unique name. But sometimes companies might not rank for their name. We had a client that came to us. They were competing with a massive engineering firm, and they were a fairly small business, and they were competing for the same name. They have exactly the same name. And so our goal was to create a world-class website that outranks this website for that brand name, which we did using some search engine optimization techniques. So hi there, KwaZulu-Natal. Nice to see you. So the experience goes, I see the ad in Facebook, I then see your search engine ads, and it all adds to a sense of trust. I then see your Google My Business, maybe I see some video, I scroll down, and then I see your website. And I click on your website, and then what comes up needs to continue that journey of trust. It's all about trust. So if you have then got some second-rate website that pops up, it's going to immediately undermine trust. Now, very important, I need you to understand something. When people land on your website, they've got a full emotional piggy bank. Their bank is full. And then as things, are not normal, or maybe the coloring's not right, I click on this page and it's blue, and then I click on this page and the whole thing turns pink. And the fonts are all different, but not everyone's going to pick that kind of thing up, but there's just going to be a generalized sense of, am I still in the same place? Am I lost? Where do I go? Or maybe you give them a lot of forms to fill out. So I've just tried to click on Amazon now as an example, and it won't let me even view Amazon. I have to log in. And then it wouldn't let me log in. Even when I gave it my login details, it's now sent my login details to my email address, which is wrong because I just want to see the website. I just want to shop. Now, what a shop should do is show all these products that you want, and then when you're ready to buy them, that's when you rope them in and you get their contact details, right? So Amazon doing some very unusual things there. They're obviously like, we're big enough, log in, you can't see anything if we don't know who you are. So that's kind of their view. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see this website homepage. Now, your first lesson that I need you to go and critique your website about, okay? Number one is, have you got everything critical to your business on your home page? So if you have a look at your home page, the landing page, your main page of your website, I need to know if everything that is super, super important is on your home page. And the reason I ask you this is because time after time, websites, and I have to click around, and then when I go to the About Us, there's your whole list of customers. And then I go to your Contact Us, and there's your map of the world. And then I go to your products and services, and there's this beautiful summary of everything that you do. So your mentality is, this is kind of the message that me as your visitor get is, the stuff's there. Go and click and find it. I've put it there. It's your job to go and find it. Okay? So that's often the attitude that I encounter when I'm dealing with clients is I will find that people will say, no, it's there. It's there. They must go find it. It's there. It's there. It's under the menu. You must click here and click there and click there, and then they'll find it. So your very first critique is of your landing page, your website homepage. Now, no, most people don't click off of this page. So, most people do click off this page. In other words, most people bounce from this page. They don't click somewhere else. So this might be your only chance of reaching someone. I land on this website, you've got 4 seconds to impress me. So write this down. Within 4 seconds, people want to know, where am I? What is the site about? What's in it for me? And what do you want me to do? Where am I? What is the site about? What's in it for me? What do you want me to do? So basically, the question you have to answer immediately. When I land on the site, I need to know what it's about. Now, let me talk about the menu, the little navigation. So to not confuse you, let me show you what I mean by when I say menu. So let's flip this around. So here I've got Zappos.com. It's one of the e-commerce online stores in the world. And here you've got the menu. I like to call this a menu, or you could call it navigation, whatever your case is. So when I land on this store, excuse me, I've got this store has got 4 seconds to tell me what the store is about. So here the menu serves a very important cue in telling me what the site is about. So sometimes customers want to be cute and they want to collapse this menu into those little 3 hamburger bars because it's sexy and it's trendy and it's funky. But the problem is, once you collapse into that, it's actually a mobile device responsive. When you land on a mobile, when you're visiting a website from your phone, then the menu collapses into those little 3 bars, that little hamburger menu, and that's fine for a mobile device because it's so small and you've got such limited real estate. So now I'm speaking about desktop. Okay, if you're catering to a desktop visitor, and if you're not sure if your customers are visiting your website from desktop or whether they're looking at it via their mobile phones, tell you 100% who you are catering for. So most people should actually cater for mobile first experience. Now the problem with building a mobile first website is that one of the biggest indicators of what the website about is your navigation, and now your navigation is collapsed. So when I deal with business to business, or my clients who have business to business customers, they're almost always desktop first. And so this menu here, this menu up here is a really important way of explaining, what the business is about. What do we sell? What are we in the business of? So here you can see all these different menus here, nicely expanded. So it's really important that when I land on your site, I get an idea of what you sell, all within one glance. So that's tip number 1. So if you've got a mobile first site, in other words, 90% of your customers land on your site and they just want to get going, but they're from a mobile phone, then you have a job to explain to people what the site is about and what they can do here. If you have a highly complicated product, and you're appealing to a mobile, so what I suggest that you do is mock the. So I'll show you here. There's lots of software out there that's fancy. My personal favorite for wireframing a website is actually called Axure, but you can actually mock up a website in PowerPoint. So if you want to do what we call a wireframe, where you just, you can literally just create some blocks and you can say, right, my opening banner, I'm going to do this. And you can say for my menu, I'm going to say this, blah, 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 whatever the case might be. And you can actually wireframe your website and plan it out on PowerPoint. It's really, really easy. And if you're doing it for a phone, then you need to obviously just mock it up a lot smaller for your smaller devices. And then this would obviously collapse into your hamburger menu. So, all right, so let's talk about, so we've spoken a little bit about that 4 seconds. So you've got 4 seconds to tell people what this website is about and what can they do here, what's in it for me. So this is what I enjoy a lot. My customers know that I solve some very complex website problems by using a mega flyout. So this is a mega flyout here. And what I love about a mega flyout is it unpacks. So here I've unpacked all my social media, all my digital marketing, all my creatives, and then my paid ads. You can see you can create these beautiful stacks. Now mine happens to be fairly dark, but you can add in images and you can really design it in a fairly pretty way. But the mega flyout menu is a really good user experience for if you've got a lot of options. Okay, so you've got 4 seconds to tell me what the site is about. So your menu, your logo should always be top left. Now I have seen websites where the logo's centered, and it's not horrible. It's not a failure, But the problem is that we read from top to bottom and from left to right. So the starting point for in the Western world is always going to be top left. So your logo should always be there. So 4 seconds to tell me what you're about. I look at your logo for a clue. I look at your menu to tell me what I can do here. Then I look at this opening banner. Now, let me quickly just spend a few seconds on this opening banner. In the olden days, we had these open, I'm trying to think of a website. In the olden days, we had an opening banner that used to scroll. You know, you have 5 or 6 messages. You know who used to do this? AfriHost. I wonder if they're still doing it. AfriHost. Let's just have a look and see if they're still doing it. Let's critique their site. So AfriHost used to have this big banner that would always scroll with about 50 messages on it. And that's kind of last year. I think the reason being is because it's very heavy on the mind, if I can put it that way. I mean, look at that. Beautifully designed, but somehow I just cannot absorb it. Can't absorb it. So now, my new school of thought is that we actually keep this static and with one message. You know, the image behind it can change as much as you want. So you can actually change. So you keep the sentence the same. One big, bold opening statement. You keep that sentence the same. And the background image can change. So you can literally have different scrolling images behind it. You can have a video behind it. But try and keep it as static as possible, this opening banner. Remember, it's a big key indicator of what this website's about and what we can do here. So now I'm looking at my logo. I'm looking at my menu. Look at that mega fly out there. And I'm looking here to see what is this website about. And then I look at the banner. So that's basically in 4 seconds, that's what you have to tell people what the site's about. Then if I start to scroll, my next question is, you know, can I trust you? So this is what we call trust cues. They cue a sense of trust. Can you see these customer logos here? They give you a sense of trust. The first thing that AfriHost, you know, they tell you what they sell, and almost the first thing that they do is they're spending a lot of real estate here on their trust messaging. All of this is trust messaging to tell you, the visitor, why you should choose AfriHost. Can you see that? So once you scroll down here, it's more trust messaging. They're not actually focusing on what they sell. They're more focusing on why you should pick them and why they think that they're the best. And here then their blogs, and then some customer testimonials, which is more trust messaging, and a big trust statement here that says you're our top priority. And then here again, now this is the bottom of the website. This is what I call footer stacks. I love my footer stacks. So this is the footer menu. Now I love the footer menu because often people find the website too overwhelming. So like if you're, even me, I'm fairly creative, but a lot of websites when I visit them, there's just too much clutter, there's too much creative, there's too much motion, and it's kind of overwhelming. And if I can't work it out from the menu, I will often scroll right down to the bottom and I'll have a look at their footer menu. So MWeb, I mean, the MWeb site's just an abomination. 4 years ago when I visited it, and trying to find anything there, it's just chaos because they're trying to be a news aggregator. So I scroll right to the bottom of their website, and there they've got footer stacks, and that's where I found the service provided, the service that I was actually looking for, neatly laid out. So if you offer a lot of services and if you've got a lot of complexity on your site, okay, are you all listening? It's important that you cater for different kinds of users. So firstly, you've got your hunter, and then you've got your gatherer. Your hunter knows exactly what they want. Often my customers think like hunters. They're like, well, it's there. If I wanted this, I know I must click here, and that's where it is. But then there's your gatherers who don't really know what they want. So sometimes when I feel like I've got the shopaholics I feel like shopping and I don't know what to buy. I just feel like buying something. So I've got money to burn. And then I'll go on like an e-commerce store. This happened to me on Yuppie Chef. We should actually put the Yuppie Chef upside. Yuppie Chef. So let's have a look here at Hertex House. So Hertex sells fabulous products. And so here, guys, can I just ask you to not remove the home button? Don't think your customers are so clever that they all know they should click on the logo. Some websites just assume that everyone's like very techie and knows where to click, but don't assume that. I always include the home button, always, as a standard. Okay, then this menu has to be in order of importance. So this is their special, so they've got a Art of Winter special now. So this matches the order and flow so that it matches going across like that as it matches going down, if that makes any sense. Hi, Hillary from Plet. Nice to see you. So here you've got their rug collection. But now I don't know what I want to buy. So what they've done quite cleverly is they've catered for me here with all products. They've actually got a drop down for, you don't know what you want to buy? Here's everything we sell, which I find Take A Lot doesn't do. So when I'm on Take A Lot and I just want to buy something and I don't know what, and I actually almost want to just shop anything, they've got a very small homepage. I can see now they've added more stuff onto their homepage since COVID arrived. But actually, I don't love their left-hand menu because nobody uses a left-hand menu anymore. Nobody. That's like super old school. And then I have to pick a category. So usually what I'll do is I'll just click on sales or deals and shop all their sales, because that's kind of like a mixture of everything. So sure, they've got so many products that it's almost impossible to I suppose, to just have some sort of an all category. But that they're not catering for the gatherers, the people that just don't know what they want, so they're just kind of browsing. Then the other type of customers you have to cater for is your new customer and your returning customer. So if you've got the kind of website where people are constantly logging in or they're always coming back, they don't always want to see the same thing over and over necessarily. So I'm going to ask you, what is the customer experience for your returning customers? And then you might have a logged in section for them that caters to them. I don't know. We should talk about apps as well at some point, because I've got a lot of opinions about apps. Okay, so let's have a look here. So we're scrolling down our website. So let's have a look at the Shift One website. So where am I? I think this is some sort of a digital agency. Oh, yes, it is. There it is, blah, blah, blah. And this is in order of importance. Now, we put the About Us over here. But actually what I've seen in Google Analytics is that the About Us is one of the most clicked on pages, second to the home page. Isn't that interesting? People land on your website and they want to know about you. So they want to know who you are. They want to know, are there human beings here? Is it a bricks and mortar building? Or, okay, that's no longer so relevant. But who do I call if there's a problem? Who founded this business? What's the story? They want the human touch. So if your website is completely just cold and there's nobody wants to be in the limelight. So I've got a lot of customers. Nobody wants to step up and be in the limelight. And nobody wants to like catch any shine. They want to be this, like missing in action. But your customers want to know who you are. They want to know the story behind the business. They want to know who founded the business. They want to know who they can call if there's a problem. So usually I would suggest that you go home, About Us, and then your services. But put your menu in order of priority. Okay, then we've got our funky little video banner. Then we start immediately with what do we sell? And a little statement there. And then some more of what we sell, another little statement. And then we've got a lot of this human touch here. So a lot of this kind of gives you a sense of the culture, the vibe, the feeling that you're going to have when working with us. Now, a digital agency, there's 1,000 million trillion digital agencies out there in the world. So how are you going to differentiate yourself? Your services, yes, they may be better, but that's arguable. Is this article better than that article? I don't know. So the thing that's going to set you apart is the culture and the vibe that people get from you. Now, this is a big trust cue to show you these people worked with us. So, and then our blogs here, which is our articles. And we've got some video here. And this video, so one of the first things that I did when I started my business was I wrote a blog called 5 People Who Should Never Design Your Website. So I really suggest you go and find that article. Maybe Kirsten can publish that on the group, on the Facebook group. But 5 People Who Should Never Design Your Website. And I sent that out to press. And one of the people that picked it up was Mags on Media. And they gave me a call. And I got interviewed on 5 People Who Should Never Design Your Website. Kirsten, maybe you can put this link to the video on as well. And the great thing about that article is it got me a video. And the great thing about that video is I put it on my homepage. And the great thing about having on the homepage is I've had at least a couple of customers, really good customers, come through and see that video, and as a result of that video decide to work with us. So they were almost like, well, look, she was on Mags on Media, she must know what she's talking about, let's use her. And then we've got a free little ebook as a hook to get people to subscribe. And then our footer isn't really, we don't have much going on in our footer in terms of footer stacks. But we've just got some of the necessary information, blah, 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 and then our little subscribe to the newsletter. Now, let's quickly talk about pop-ups. We used to have a pop-up over our website saying subscribe to our newsletter, but we took that off because it was super annoying. We do have some clients, though, that it actually works. They get about 40 subscribers a week. That's because they are like a hub of information for small entrepreneurs, or they might be, people really want to subscribe to their newsletters. So what we've done is we've made it a bit more subtle. We've moved it there, and we've actually made the pop-up on our website the call to action to join this Facebook group. So if you watch our very, very first video that we did in this series of lockdown webinars, we talked about some of the things that your business should do to survive this time. And one of the ideas was to create a Facebook group like this. So what you might want to do is create a pop-up over your website saying, come to my Facebook group. Okay, so you can see that the flow of the homepage needs to kind of make sense, kind of build trust, talk about what you do, but also give a sense of the kind of service that you're going to get at this business. So what do we do, who we are, our areas of expertise. So here, this goes into the detail. And these are funky, cute sort of tools that you can use. But I must tell you that they're not the greatest for comprehension and user experience. So don't rely on them only as a way of communicating what you do, because firstly they're centered and people don't like to read centered copy. They left aligned, but left aligned won't look nice from a design point of view. But I think that it will, if I'm in BI and data, I will hover over that and I'll see I'm in big data. So I think they serve the purpose, but just be aware that sometimes you can create funky web little design elements that actually are not a great user experience. And here on the homepage, we've got the team photo, and this immediately tells you who you're going to work with and gives you a sense of the kind of the company that you're dealing with. So I don't have to click anywhere. I can see the top vacancies here. And I can see their global map, and I can see some of our clients. So I see, oh wow, these guys deal with the big guys, and they're global, and they've got nice top jobs. I definitely want to deal with these guys. So that is really website design in a nutshell. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about your secondary pages. So once I click, because that's a whole different ball game, and I think we've come to pretty much the end of our slot. So if you've got any questions that you want to ask, you're welcome to ask me. You're also welcome to ping me. Here, look at this is Zappos footer stacks. You can see all of their footer stacks unpacked like this. I must tell you that if you want a really great user experience, go and check out Zappos. If you have an e-commerce store, they have got really, they're phenomenal. They've built the most incredible sites, especially even a shoe size calculator. You must read their terms and conditions for their website. They make it so easy for you to understand whether look at these customer reviews, review whether it's a large fit, a wide fit, good support, not good support. So, and then their terms and conditions, they've actually even got a video here about their shipping and returns policy. They've written it in the most easy to understand English. Oh, they used to have a video, maybe it's a different one. And yeah, they really just explain it. So no heavy legalese. They've just made it a really good user experience. Okay. All right, guys. I hope you found this interesting and helpful. If there's anything else that you have that you want to ask me a question, you can pop it on the chat underneath here in the video. The other option is you can just ping me an email. Just remember that everything that's important must be on your home page, and that's for search engine optimization too. So if you sell shoes, make sure that you've got a link on your homepage that says we sell shoes. Other than that, I wish you a pleasant rest of week. And yeah, I will see you next week. We've moved our slot to Wednesdays. So I will see you next week, Wednesday. We're going to be talking about Instagram. So please fill out the poll to make sure that you have commented on what about Instagram you want me to unpack, so that I can spend some time with you on Instagram unpacking it for you. Make sure that you get the best experience next week, Wednesday. I will see you at 9 o'clock. Have a great day, guys. Bye. Thanks for joining. I hope you learned something. Bye.